Good day, everyone. Happy Thursday. We're gonna do a nice, light-hearted video today, and I'm gonna bitch about something that has no consequence or issue or anything. It's just something that really pisses me off, and it should piss off anybody who enjoys this game. So, there's this amazing video game called Terminator Resistance, probably one of the best Terminator games ever made. Right? If not the best Terminator game ever made. Next to the Terminator 2 arcade game, right? That fucking game is awesome. But basically, this game came out a few years ago, and it's like a love letter to the first two movies. It's like really well done, and it takes a little bit from the other games, but mainly just like the way things looked, the design. Because this is the thing about the later Terminator movies. They looked amazing, and they had a lot of fun stuff in them when it came to like visual design. I mean, hell, Terminator Salvation actually had Stan Winston working on it, the last movie he worked on, and he was designing the Terminators for that movie, and it looked amazing. Yeah, and in all the Terminator movies, the technology you see, it looks great. Terminator Genesis, the way things looked was amazing. The story was just shite. But that's basically all they take from the later movies is just aesthetical stuff, redesigns, the death camps in the future and things like that you only see in those later movies that you don't really see in the first two. But as far as the story and the feeling of the game, it's totally paying homage to those first two movies, and it's acting like those other ones don't exist. This is basically, if you could call this a prequel to the first two, and honestly, that it's an amazing prequel to the first two. It's called Terminator Resistance. You play as a character who's it's basically the same story as the first Terminator, except instead of it being surrounding John Connor and Sarah Connor, it surrounds your character. Now, John Connor is a character in it. In fact, you get to this amazing scene where they recreate the opening scene from Terminator 2, where it has John Connor walking down that hallway. I mean, almost exactly. You can put them side by side. It's amazing. It's so awesome. In fact, I should probably do that. And just put it out there so it's out there, because it looks great. It's a great comparison. But anyway, this game came out a while back. I've been playing it now for at least a couple years. And my only complaint was that the game was too short, way too short. And so when I found out they were releasing DLC for it, which is downloadable content, I was floored. I own an Xbox, and I've had a PlayStation in the past, and I've been thinking about getting a new one. But for the most part, I'm an Xbox dude. I enjoy Xbox. I've got hundreds of games on my Xbox. I don't play like I used to, but it's nice having them there for that random lazy day I have every now and then. But this is the thing. Upon hearing that they had DLC for this, I was floored. I was so excited to play this freaking DLC, right? So, I look into it, and it's not on my Xbox, and I'm like, well, that's odd. I've heard it's out. Oh, well, maybe it's just not out on the Xbox yet, That was like a year ago now, right? And the DLC is actually a lot of fun. You get to play as you get to play as the T-800. You get to play like an extra 3 hours of the campaign that they added to, which really kind of makes up for that lack of content. You have to pay extra for it, but still, that's awesome. But here's the kicker. Kicker is that it's only on PS5, PS products, or PS4. It's on the most recent PS systems and PC only. It's not on Xbox. It's not on any of that stuff. I can't download it. It's not DLC. Technically, what they did is they remastered the game and added this in addition to it. Now, I think if you just if you have a PS5 or whatever, a PS product, and you own the game, I think you can download it as DLC. I'm not sure about that. But it's basically a product only sold on PS5 and on PC, which got my blood boiling so fucking much. Just about ruined my fucking morning, honestly, because I love this game. And I love the Terminator movies, especially the first two. Love those fucking movies. Terminator 2 was one of, like, growing up when I was a kid, I watched that movie prolifically. The first one, not so much. Later on, I started to appreciate the first one. But in that one, Arnold is a bad guy, and that's more of like a horror movie. Like, when I saw that as a kid, it actually scared me, because there's horror elements to it. Like, the part where he rips out his eye was fucking scary when I was a kid. You know, the part where he rises from the fucking ashes as a Terminator skeleton scared the shit out of me as a kid, too. I mean, like, that whole last sequence was fucking frightening as a child, you know? Now you watch it and it's fucking cheesy and dated. It still looks great, but it's like, it's a little cheesy looking, like. But still, like, the horror elements when I was a kid is when that movie came out, you know? It came out the year I was born. So, I mean, like, I was a kid watching that as a horror movie, and it scared me. The second one was more of like your classic superhero archetype movie. Like, the way Marvel is now, like, this was one of those early versions of, like, archetypes to that, you know? The way it subverted the expectations of the audience by switching the protagonist and antagonist around. The way it was actually more of an action movie with deep, now not incredibly deep moral themes, but deep enough that it worked for the movie, right? You know, because honestly, the whole message is that violence and you know, the whole point of the second movie is that, you know, you can change your fate. Violence will be the end of us, you know, our inability to get away from that violent nature, and guns are so cool. Basically. Because this whole time the movie's telling you that, you know, guns are bad, violence is going to be the end of us. The whole while, it's an action movie that just has some of the best fucking action scenes with some of the biggest guns, explosions, you name it. Like, I think Nostalgia Critic put it best when he said, it's like a gun and a punch had an orgasm. It's a good description of that movie's action, because it's amazing. Like, and the special effects still to this day are amazing. The scene where Arnold pulls off his freaking arm, ugh, awesome, you know? But anyway, back to the point. I was so fucking mad. Why the fuck is this not on Xbox? Huh? It's 2022, almost 2023, and that shit came out in 2021, yo. Where the fuck is the Xbox DLC, yo? Come on, that's money to be made. What the fuck? Come on, y'all, get your shit on straight. I get it, I get having content that's strictly for either Xbox or PS5, but this is the thing, that was released across all platforms. That wasn't a platform-specific game. So why are you making the DLC a platform-specific? That's stupid. You're limiting your freaking, you are limiting your market base. Are you kidding? I was willing to pay $30 to download that shit today on my Xbox, and it's not available. So whoever's in charge out there, whoever's in charge of that, you guys get on that shit now. If this makes it to you, fucking finish the DLC for Xbox and let us download that shit. Please. Respectfully. You motherfuckers. Hurry the F up. Alright. That's enough about Terminator and the game. I'm gonna go for my morning hike with my doggy. But seriously, yo, like, come on, what's up with that? Peace out.